All right. Get these banners going. How's everybody doing? All right, there we go. All right, once again, welcome to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially. All right, hopefully, let me check the sound here. Okay, good. Got to have my stuff sounding right. Okay. Let's see who we got. Silent D, Oyella Aket, Queen Adia, FBA Goddess, TJ. All right, Judah Queen. Welcome everyone. We are doing this again. All right. Hey. It's still early afternoon out here. All right. So let's get into it. The title I have today might be a little misleading. I titled it the weekly wrap up, as we can see. But I want you to take a look into the picture that I used. Okay. So what do y'all see? Now you're seeing some things that could be associated with this week, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't really have too much trouble with this broadcast. Just being a little proactive. All right. So let's get into it, y'all. Again, you can please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share this on your social media. I'm slipping. You can share this on your social media, please. And also you can follow me on, I got my podcast, All Real Truth with beatzillapdx. That's at Anchor FM, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iTunes. So with that being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to play for y'all, I'm going to get into some of the things that we are seeing this week, but some of the things we have seen over the decades that still tie into today. So to set all this up, I'm going to go back like I like to do. So I'm going to play this first, and then we will bring it up to today.
A part of that plan, of course, is to induce the gradual surrender of American sovereignty, piece by piece and step by step, to various international organizations, of which the United Nations is the outstanding but far from the only example. Here are the aims for the United States. 1, greatly expanded government spending for every conceivable means of getting rid of ever larger sums of American money as wastefully as possible. 2, higher and then much higher taxes. 3, an increasingly unbalanced budget despite the higher taxes. 4, wild inflation of our currency. 5, government controls of prices, wages, and materials, supposedly to combat inflation. 6, greatly increased socialistic controls over every operation of our economy and every activity of our daily lives. This is to be accompanied, naturally and automatically, by a correspondingly huge increase in the size of our bureaucracy and in both the cost and reach of our domestic government. 7, far more centralization of power in Washington and the practical elimination of our state lines. There is a many-faceted drive at work to have our state lines eventually mean no more within the nation than our county lines do now within the states. 8, the steady advance of federal aid to and control over our educational system, leading to complete federalization of our public education. 9, a constant hammering into the American consciousness of the horror of modern warfare, the beauties and the absolute necessity of peace. Peace always on communist terms, of course. And 10, the consequent willingness of the American people to allow the steps of appeasement by our government, which amount to a piecemeal surrender of the rest of the free world.
A piecemeal surrender of the rest of the free world. What y'all think about that? Yee. Well, now, like I said, I wanted to start today's program like that. Like I said, the title is definitely going to be a bit deceiving, but I wanted to make sure that I did this unimpeded. So, we will move on. So, if anybody was, because, y'all know I stay abreast to what's going on in the world. I probably have every news alert come through on all my devices. My wife could tell you, my devices go off like beep 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 beep. So, hey, but I like to stay informed. I like to make sure I know what's going on, when it's happening. For those of y'all who don't know, right now there's a lot going on around the world. There's like natural disasters. There was a few people killed in Philadelphia by a tornado yesterday. We got these fires going out here in Southern Oregon and Northern California. Fortunately, where I am in Oregon, which is up north, we're basically at the border of Washington. Well, we are the border of Washington. We're subsequently not getting any smoke, but the smoke from our fires from our state even hit New York City. So there's a lot going on around the world. They had like typhoon weather up in Boston. So there's a lot going on. If you watch Queen Amadai Shakur, she's mentioned, some things are prophecy, some things are written in the Bible to be allegory. But one thing that is for certain, when you see it, you could believe it. If somebody told you something was going to happen, and then it happens, well, yeah, so is the life of a prophet. So, I want to show you this piece yesterday that I was happened to catch. And I just happened to stumble across this notification. Joe Biden was doing his live press conference. So, with him going live, I wanted to see what he had to say. Because, it's always going to be interesting hearing Joe Biden. I like to catch it real time. Because if you guys don't pay attention, some of these things that he ends up doing, they scrub from the internet. So you won't even be able to pull it back up after he does it. You might not even be able to find what I'm going to play. I just happen to catch it live. Let's
see. That includes addressing hesitancy and misinformation head on. For example, I know some of you who are unvaccinated think the development of a vaccine was rushed, therefore I'm not going to take a chance. As a result, I think it's not safe because it was rushed. I understand. But let me explain. Our top scientists, the National Institute of Health, the NIH, and across the country, got to work applying decades of research. Decades of research. I'm going to repeat that. Decades. That had already been done, the research, to develop the COVID-19 vaccine when it hit. In the last 6 months, more than 3...
Did you just hear what he said? Did y'all catch that? Excuse me. Okay, so what he just said was For this particular situation, it has just came upon us within the last year, 2020. Scientists and researchers have been doing the research decades long. Let me repeat, decades upon decades. Well, actually, no, Queen Adia, he is not lying. So, in, just curiosity, I said, well, what does that mean? It pays to be in tune with the spirit. I will tell you that. If you don't know where to look, it'll be there. So, let me introduce you to, and I want y'all to pay very close attention to this. I'm going to introduce you to some people. Kathy B, what's going on, my sister? Okay, so I'm going to introduce you to some people that you probably have never heard of before. They are very well acquainted with you, especially foundational Black Americans and melanated people abroad. They're very well acquainted with you. Now, viewer one, hey, my sister, you driving? All right, be safe out there, my sister. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to a few people that you have never heard of before, but you probably should be aware of.
Come from. Being entrepreneurs and pioneers was in the genes of our founders Haim Salomon, Moshe Levin, and Yitzhak Elstein when they created a small wholesale drug distribution business in Jerusalem in 1901. During the first half of the 20th century, the company grew to become the sole source of pharmaceutical supplies for the local market, neighboring countries, and the British Army stationed in the Middle East. In the 2 decades prior to the establishment of the State of Israel, the local pharmaceutical industry transformed, allowing the company to expand from distribution to manufacturing. In 1953, Eli Hurwitz joined the company and later became its CEO. In 1976,
I'm just going to replay something because I just want to see if y'all caught something. Listen to the dates that they're calling off and also listen to where they're from.
Under his leadership, in Jerusalem in 1901. Created a small wholesale drug distribution business in Jerusalem in 1901. During the first half of the 20th century, the company grew to become the sole source of pharmaceutical supplies for the local market, neighboring countries, and the British Army stationed in the Middle East. In the 2 decades prior to the establishment of the State of Israel, the local pharmaceutical industry transformed, allowing the company to expand from distribution to manufacturing. In 1953, Eli Hurwitz joined the company and later became its CEO. In 1976, under his leadership, Teva, as we know it today, was established from the reverse merger of Asia and Suri. Eli became Teva's first CEO and led the company for more than 30 years. During that time, it was his vision, entrepreneurship, and courage that turned Teva into a leading global company. He still inspires us to this very day. In the 80s and 90s, we went international, in particular capitalizing on the passing of the Hatch-Waxman Act to lead the way in the US market in the generics sector. After moving into branded drugs, we had a market breakthrough in the 1990s with the introduction of Copaxone, a novel treatment for multiple sclerosis. It became the first original Israeli drug to be approved by the Food and Drug Administration in the United States. In the first decade of the 21st century, we continued to strengthen our capabilities and grow our business with acquisitions in the US, Canada, and Europe, and by establishing subsidiaries in Latin America and other parts of the world. Today, we are the largest pharmaceutical generics company in the world, with a significant specialty franchise focused on central nervous system, pain, and respiratory diseases, and a growing OTC business. Together, we are one of the leading pharmaceutical companies in the world. We can be very proud of where we have come from and what we have achieved, touching the lives of millions of people for over a century.
Ooh, all right. Okay. So, they've touched so many lives, and I would have to agree. They have definitely done plenty of that. Let me show you some of the ways they have reached out and touched our community. Uh, let's because some things go hand in hand. Now, as you know, I have been giving you kind of a blueprint, piece by piece, of all the different pieces and sectors of your enemy. If you are a foundational Black American, which is the system of white supremacy. We are looking to replace it with the system of justice. So, with that being said, let me show you one of the great things that they have definitely are responsible for handing down to the foundational Black American community and melanated people abroad. Here is one that, this is one way that they have definitely reached out and touched us. That look familiar? We hear songs and so much about these things. Now, I would say this is Activist. Activist is a Teva company. Yeah. Oh. Oh. You always got to remember who the players are. See, there's people who have things at stake, and it's big money. Now, let me ask you this: Why would, but how could a medical company based out of Jerusalem have so much medical street value in the hood? Think of how many Black people have been locked up for marijuana. This is international opioids coming all the way to a community near you. So when people wonder, well, what do these things, one thing, have to do with the other? You might want to start asking some questions. Now, I'll come back to that. But I want to show you something because y'all got to understand what I'm getting at. I keep telling you, I'm talking about the business of this thing. I'm not talking medical information whatsoever. I'm talking the business. This is big business. It's good business if this is where you have your stake, which do you think people that would target and know how to target a certain market wouldn't get in on a new booming market? Because I showed you in one of my last broadcasts about what the Gates Foundation was pumping money into, what the Soros Foundation was pumping money into. I showed you exactly where that money was going. So, what? Okay, so let me go here because this is Teva again. So Teva is the maker of Activists. They have basically all the patents of all of the major name brands. So they specialize in the name brand side, getting that patent, then also promoting and manufacturing the generic side. So they own both sides. Got it? Now, think of all the different things we're seeing, different companies we're seeing right now. And I'll say it like this. All the companies right now that have a wrongful something suit that we see commercials for, you can get in on this class action suit from Pfizer or Moderna or AstraZeneca or Johnson & Johnson, baby powder. Funny how all of those companies are being told to, the American public is being told to trust those same companies with whatever they put out. Only problem with this one is you can't get it on the class action lawsuit like they were for those other things in talcum powder. Now, to say, make me feel better about doing something that you're pushing on me, well, one way to do it and give me incentive is give me and my family right to sue. But if you ain't trying to give that up, then no, I guess there's really no discussion. You did? So here, let me play this video for y'all real quick. I want you to just, this is the same company. So the company that makes lean, activists, they're also involved in Xanax and Percocet and all of that, Oxycontin, all of those opioids. This is the same company. Now, peep out where this interview takes place.
Manufacturer in the world, that's Teva Pharmaceuticals, and their CEO, Kåre Schultz. So Kåre, I just wanted to start, it was a little bit of a disappointing quarter this morning, and I was hoping for you to elaborate on comments you made this morning about there being a trough in generics and what you mean by that.
Yeah, so I still think we had a good quarter. The fourth quarter of last year, we made all the guidance we gave. So that in itself was good. Where I think you saw a bit of a reaction was that the consensus of the street was a higher expectation for 2019 than what we came out with in our guidance. And when I talk about a trough, it's really a trough on total revenue and a trough on earnings. And it has really nothing to do with the US generics. US generics have actually stabilized, which is extremely positive. But we do have a situation where our biggest product, Copaxone, went off patent last year, and that product is going down in revenues. And then we have two fantastic products we've launched, Austedo, which is for Huntington's disease, tardive dyskinesia for movement disorders, and Ajovy, which is a new preventive therapy for migraine. Those products are going up. But this year, the drag from Copaxone is bigger, so there's a bigger drag from Copaxone than the growth of the new products. Once we get to 2020, it will reverse itself because the absolute drag from Copaxone gets smaller and the growth of the new products gets bigger.
So I did want to touch on that. So the rebound timeline for you is 2020, so this entire year is going to be a little bit tougher?
You can say that we'll have the same tough situation this year as we had last year with the loss of revenue on Copaxone that has gone generic. But we do see the growth of the new launches, which is positive. It's just the balance right now between the, let's say, $900 million we lose on Copaxone.
I forgot to tell y'all. This interview is actually in 2019, by the way. Just saying.
Versus what we gain on the new drugs this year just means that the balance is the wrong way, and then next year it tips around and we get a positive balance.
Interesting. And actually, I did have the read-through from Wells Fargo. They were saying that Ajovy is picking up well and beating competitors from Eli Lilly, for example. I was curious, is that going to be the next trajectory that's going to kind of buoy from those lower numbers from Copaxone and some of those traditional drugs that have been your main revenue drivers?
Yeah, that's one of the elements. Of course, the new products are what can really drive growth in revenue, but it's equally important that nothing drops, so to speak. Mm-hmm. In the last 5 years, you've seen US generics dropping, but now in the last 2 quarters of 2018, we've seen US generic market sort of flattening out in value, maintaining its value. You also see it in our numbers. We had very stable US generic sales in third quarter and fourth quarter, so we're seeing a whole stabilization in the US generics market, which is very positive for us.
Okay, TJ, You hit the nail on the head. Okay, y'all remember I mentioned go look up Operation Paperclip, right? Remember I told you that on one of my last broadcasts. Go look into that. Oh, so TJ says, let me put that up there. Let me know if y'all agree with what TJ just said. Just put a one in the chat. I would have to agree. Yeah, put a one in the chat if you believe what TJ said, because I sure do. Good Lord. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Are y'all paying attention? Y'all paying attention here? Mm, mm, mm. Let me see if this other thing is still up here. So let me show you something else. Because this dude here, and I mean it. When you start digging into it, he's kind of a rabbit hole. I'll put it to you like that. Jeez. So, just like I was saying on my last broadcast, with understanding the players, because we don't really see the true players of the game, unfortunately. I mean, but it's all by design. It's all by design. Okay. Got that in here. So let me play something else. Rashana Morrison. All right. Welcome. Definitely sounds like Arnold. Most definitely. Let me see, where's this at? So let me play this other clip for you. And this is something that I'll play this first, and then I'll play another clip of Joe Biden. But this right here is Dr. Anthony Fauci, so-called, who is talking to Lester Holt. So let's hear what he has to say. So can't nobody put words in anyone's mouth.
About walking by someone on the street who may be unvaccinated.
Not at all. I would have no concern walking down the street past a person who's not been vaccinated and even a person who's been infected, because the protection is really quite substantial.
Okay, let's hear.
Person, should we have any worries about walking by someone on the street who may be unvaccinated?
Not at all. I would have no concern walking down the street past a person who's not been vaccinated and even a person who's been infected, because the protection is really quite substantial.
All right. Well, how about that? So going back to yesterday, everybody else in the media paid more attention to this aspect of what happened. So I'll play this real quick.
You said if you are fully vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask. And it seems...
I have said if you're fully vaccinated in an area where we do not have... Well, let me clarify.
In May, you made it sound like a vaccine was the ticket to losing the mask forever. And
that is true at the time, because I thought there were people who were going to understand that getting vaccinated made a gigantic difference. And what happened was, the new variant came along, they didn't get vaccinated, it was spread more rapidly, and more people were getting sick. That's the difference.
But
now, with that being said, we all know what the CDC done came out and said. The CDC done came out and said very clearly that fully vaccinated people can also spread the variant. So pretty much what you're hearing is no one's safe, but get vaccinated. And I'll say that. But that's what he said. I'm just repeating what he said. I'm no doctor, so I wouldn't know. Lord. So, let's see what some healthcare workers have to say. Because if you notice, all of a sudden they're trying to make this push on healthcare workers. Truth be told, though, I saw Mitch McConnell make a great point. Mitch McConnell made a great point. He said, "What about all of these people coming over the border? That's not a pandemic. They're not masked, and they're definitely not being checked. And you haven't got them the jab. So how would you let them come in? You got 11 million people you're trying to let in, and you worried about coming to my community? Nah, break bread, player. You take that on over to them, homie. No, sir. All right, so let's just hear from...
Many of you have gotten a COVID vaccine.
These are 4 healthcare workers from different hospitals in North Carolina.
Why not?
We don't know what the long-term side effects are. It also hasn't been proven to be effective.
The CDC and many public health experts say that it's more than 90% effective.
They do say that. That hasn't proven to me to be true. I'm not going to just jump on a bandwagon with something that has not been tested.
When you say that it hasn't been tested, it has been tested, though.
But not to the, if you look at the normal year span of how long something is tested, it's usually 12 to 14 years before it comes to humans.
Across the country, about 1 in 4 healthcare workers still isn't vaccinated against COVID. And from North Carolina to Texas to New York, anti-mandate protests are mounting.
I don't trust it right now.
So is the pushback.
This is in the category of give me a bleeping break. When did everyone get a medical degree?
For weeks, we've spoken with many overworked healthcare workers who practically begged Americans to get the shot.
What do you tell people who just don't believe you?
It's frustrating.
Not these. They say they're not anti-vax, more anti-mandate.
And I'm not comfortable putting something into my body until I am ready. If and when I'm ready to get the vaccine, I will get it on my own accord. I won't be forced.
You just don't trust the CDC.
I do not trust the CDC. Absolutely not.
And that fuels their skepticism.
I have the right to question anybody in this country I want to question.
You're entitled to your own opinion, but these are facts.
Are they, though? Are they facts?
Lester, more than 40,000 people participated in the Pfizer clinical trial alone, but those workers are among the many who are not convinced.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
Yeah, how about that? Not convinced. Not convinced there, buddy. So, not being convinced, as well as they shouldn't be. I mean, why would they be convinced? And here's the other thing. Look at the focus. The focus is on convincing. One way of convincing people is by proving what you're trying to convince us of. Trust is earned, not given. You know what I'm saying? We need some blood work samples from them to see what happens when they took the venom. Right, Simon D. Said, oh, my girl said, are they though? Right, TJ. Because really, are they? You know, and look, who are we talking about here? Do I need to play the first video again? I mean, these people never went away. So this is still their stuff going on right now. These are their products. You know who makes Xanax? Pfizer. Hey, how about that? Yeah, that's literally who makes it. Let's see what the Pfizer. Let's see. This is Pfizer CEO, I think. Let me see what I got right here. What does it say? Oh, wait. Hold on, people. There we go. Can y'all see that? Pfizer CEO says COVID vaccine effectiveness drops to 84% after 6 months. This article just came out a few days ago. So, just a brief overview. I just really wanted to show you that headline because, they keep double talking in the news, which is, again, if you guys been following my broadcast, it's something I call rat mazing. So this is what they're doing. Oh, it'll make you safe. It'll make you sick. It'll make you safe. It'll make you sick. Here, go there, everywhere, but nowhere. But where we want you to be. It's all a form of control. And literally, this is what you're seeing is order by chaos. There's no way around it. This is order by chaos. Something else I've seen that was pretty interesting. So as we know, the Tanzanian president, who I posted on my Instagram yesterday, when he passed, CNN kind of took a dig at him in his death because they were unfoundedly saying that he died from the, as I say, stupid 19. So it's not necessarily so. Their people say he died of a heart attack or a heart condition, which he had been wrestling with for like 20 years. However, they took the opportunity. It's like, oh, well, see, he was the one who was against vaccines. This man is dead, but that was what you felt best to go do, was take a dig at him in death. Good going, CNN. It probably won't be no sound. Oh, no, I'll turn the sound off on this. Y'all see this, though? That's the new president. Insane. So, over there in Tanzania, they are taking the jab. Now, the president subsequently, fortunately for their time schedule, has expired. So now there is no hesitation from the current leadership of Tanzania. Go figure. Kind of reminds me of another place that I just recently heard of, got a good shipment of venom in. Again, remember the first people I played you? These are the same people here today. So what do y'all think about that? I mean, it's crazy, right? Because as much as we have seen things get pushed on us, they keep trying to use the straw man argument of Tuskegee, which no one's really even talking about that. That's more of just a talking point to talk past us not trusting the system of white supremacy, which you couldn't get more rights of a white supremacy system from dealing with the heads of it. You're talking about people who were able to establish governments. These people were in Jerusalem building their weight. For what? Yeah. Like I said, it just reminds me, of this brother here. Yeah. Mm. Mm. with all the hoopla surrounding this, the first thing that they thought best to do was to send a boatload of venom down to Haiti. And soldiers. That's what Haiti needs. Oh, Lord. I hope y'all see this. Because this is the type of thing we're dealing with in actuality. And it's really deep. Unfortunately, here's one other thing I want to play for you. Um, Take a look at, and this doesn't have sound, so y'all gonna have to look at the screen. Make sure you read what's going on because I want y'all to take notice of something. Let's see. Here. Right. Mm-hmm. I need to rewind that for you. Let me get this back so you can see that again. So I can get off the screen. Run it back. Okay, there we go. Women of the Clan, Foundations of Modern Feminism are founded. Wait, let me back that up. Jesus, what did that say? That went so quick. Come on now. Let me get there. Hold on. The KKK and modern feminism are founded on genocentric chivalry. Hmm. Hmm. That doesn't sound like feminism at all. Look at them. They proud, ain't they? They super proud. Ah. Men who are in the service of feminists are known as white knights. Y'all seeing this? Men who are in the service of feminists are known as white knights. Mm. Ooh, let me go back to there. What that say? That just flashed up there way too quick. Let me get that back. Okay. What did I say there? Women of the clan employ white knights to ensure they receive equality, hmm, i.e., special treatment. Ain't that the truth? That was quick. All right. And they just got them bouncing around. That's crazy. So, I mean, that's showing you the whole nonstop cycle of what they got cracking. The White Knights, birth of a nation. Men who provide chivalrous services, special treatment to women of the clan are known as white knights. Men who provide chivalrous special treatment to feminists are known as white knights. Well, now, do you see something? Now, if y'all was watching my other previous broadcasts as well, I did a broadcast about the Daughters of the Confederacy. Those are the ones who are responsible for the monuments that we see now, that some of them are coming down. If y'all remember the York statue here in Portland, Oregon, somebody went up there and tore that down. So, you know, it's a lot of anti-black hate out here right now. I just wanted to show you the anti-black hate in the pharmaceutical situation and see how far we are in being targeted. Let me see, I'm gonna have to finish and then come back. see if I. You know, it's real interesting how these manufacture of these drugs, like lean and such stuff like that. This again, I go back. What? Well, prime example. Remember, just recently it came out in the news how we have Israeli hackers, and Edward Snowden kind of chimed in on that. Now, if y'all remember that, just put it in context of everything we've seen. Now, when they get spoke on, they don't like it. But here's the truth: you're proud in your own advertisement of what you own. Our assets are this, our assets are that. Well, you know, hey man, that kind of shows me you're pretty proud of what you got there, right? These other pictures are- This is amazing. You know, it's funny. There's supposed to be things that are in this file. It never fails. Every time I'm online, they always disappear. I'll get offline. They'll be right back in this folder. It's amazing. Amazing. Let me see if I can remedy that. That would be nice. What's this? Okay. Let's do this. Because these pictures are not showing up here for some reason. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see if that worked. Good grief. Yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know. And it's literally telling me they should be in here. And they sure are not. All right, that's really cool. All right. Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you. This I can play this real quick. This is amazing. Let me see if I can refresh it and if that'll work. I mean, it literally telling me I should be seeing it from one device to the next. I'm in the same folder. Good grief. All right. Well, it doesn't look like I'll be able to do that. Ah, okay. Oh, man. Well, I got one. Good Lord. Do you understand? They don't like this type of stuff. I just want y'all to see, though. They make buku bread off of this. So much so that but they don't even want me to show you this picture. Great. All right, let's try this again. There we go. Let's go. All right. Can y'all see that? That's Indo. These people make buku money. This is NASDAQ. So Indo is the maker of, I think they're the maker of Oxycontin, another opioid that has plagued our community for a long time. Hopefully not to do it too much longer, but has definitely had its grips. Same with lean, which is from the activist company, which is hydrocodone, codone, all of that. Xanax coming from Pfizer. Percocet. I believe Percocet is made by Endo. Percocet's made by Endo. So, are y'all seeing these connections? Endo is a Indian, East Indian, like where Kamala Harris is from, what Kamala Harris is, East Indian. These people are a pharmaceutical company from India. Now, what a coincidence. They have representation in the White House. What are the odds? See, while black folks was up here talking about let's get Trump out, let's get Trump out, we were talking about no tangibles, no vote, because this is business. It's the business of politics, the business of voting. If you're not getting anything substantial for your vote, then it's a bad deal. We cannot keep leading our people down the endless road of bad deals. That makes no sense. And what we're doing now is nonstop getting behind people to basically undermine us. And I seen a video from a brother, I think Black Alpha Network, talking about counterfeit Negroes. You're going to have to understand, people who support this type of madness, this is not for us. This is absolutely against us. It is built for our self-destruction. It's built for others to make money off of us losing. Think of how their products have plagued our community. Just think about that. And they're up there, making money hand over fist. Look at this. See, there's one of their big money makers right there. And that's one of Endo's money makers. Let's see. Look at that. There you see they're up there getting their money. Endo International. Rajvi De Silva making money. Look at all that opioid. All that money made off of opioids. But look at what they're into now. What are the odds? So am I to trust the same people that flooded my community with over-the-counter opioids, sold in the street opioids? Look at the dollar amounts that they have made. All of these people have made a mint and made more and more money for other people, such as some of the people who I've spoken about on my previous broadcasts. I hope y'all are paying attention. Oh, there's a whistleblower. Oh, now, in the midst of all of this going on, there's two more things I want to hit real quick before I get out of here. So this right here was sent to me here. This happened locally. It says, this disgusting human just chased down a young black man out of a 7-Eleven, screaming the N-word and saying he'd look nice hanging from a tree. We weren't sure what to do other than go inside, grab a photo, and call corporate. I'm shaking and beyond disgusted. Please don't stop at 7-Eleven off of Broadway and 21st. The address is 2030 Northeast Broadway. If anybody's in Portland, you know exactly where that's at. Right at catty corner from the funeral home. Oh, across the street from Jiffy Lube. So, yeah, just wanted to clarify that it was the younger man in the first photo, so the man on the left, who chased out the customer. He was in full 7-Eleven uniform. The older dude was laughing the entire time, encouraging his racist behavior. My partner and I each submitted a complaint to corporate, and they still haven't gotten back to us. Not really a shock there, though. But these are the things in my neighborhood. I would have to wonder who, like, that might have been somebody crazy that was over there, because I just really don't see that happening, to be quite honest. But, I'll give the benefit of the doubt, put the word out. Because it could. That just wouldn't happen to me. But there are people here because, trust me, our city has a lot of foreigners in it. So these people have this understanding that because a lot of the foreigners that live here, sorry to say, but they ain't gonna buck. at a racist white person. They'll just let it fly. And then had the nerve to talk about us as foundational Black Americans. Yeah, I ain't taking that. That's why they do that to you. They know we ain't gonna do that. And now that we could go back out without mask right now, I think a lot of people have confused me for a foreigner because of my hair. It's like, nah, partner. Nah. You ain't never seen a Cherokee Creole before? Idiot. But, nonetheless, I just really wanted to touch on that. Oh, and also, let me get to this other thing. So, there's this woman who had a really interesting take. My moderator, Silent D, sent this to me. And, I'll just share this. Now, in response to this post that he made to her, Twitter actually suspended his account for a week. So here's what she actually said that I'm sure is probably still up. She's been trying to backtrack and walk it back. But as far as I know, the thread is still there. Can y'all see that? Let's see. Can I get that on the screen? All righty. There we go. Oh, wait. You know what? Oh, yeah, you can see that. Okay. I just wanted to make sure y'all could see that. Let me get this banner off. Okay. There we go. Okay. Someone needs to create porn for children. Hear me out. Young teens are already watching porn, but they're finding hardcore, aggressive videos that give a terrible view of sex. They need entry-level porn, a softcore site where everyone asks for consent and no one gets choked, etc. Oh, she did delete this. Oh, well, yeah, she should have. She definitely should have deleted that. Yeah. I mean, like, what the hell was she thinking? And I don't know how she thought that was going to sound good. And actually, truth be told, she knew it wouldn't. I want y'all to pay attention to something. This is like, I want y'all to look at this is like how Dove had them soap ads and how Gucci does the little blackface and the coolest little monkey in the jungle. This is the exact same thing. You think it's any coincidence that this pops up 2 weeks after this gay choir fiasco? Talking about we're coming after your kids? People used to, oh, you're so homophobic. I told you, my mother used to be part of one of these radical women think tanks. So I knew exactly what these nuts was finna do. And yes, I'll say it, nuts. So there's her page. She's actually verified. She's like on TV. She's a personality over in the UK, I guess. Yeah, I guess this is what they're trying to push. But again, I go back to the first video I played. Who are they juiced in with? Oh, the Brits. Shout out Pierce Morgan. These your people, ain't they? Yeah, won't you speak on that, homeboy? Don't worry about what's going on over here in America. We got this. Oh, man. Oh, Lordy. Oh, yeah, the backtrack's still up. Okay. Yeah, I saw that backtrack. I'm like, oh, well, hey, I'm still, but she's still trying to defend it. So that's not really even a backtrack. That's like, okay, I will. That is insane. It's like, well, what's going on with this woman? But we have a lot of that. We do have a lot of that. So it is what it is. Um, oh, oh, okay. What's this aside? Just okay. Let me read what Silent D just sent me. Okay, so I guess she's responding to somebody. She says, "That's literally all I meant. There should be porn that focuses on consent, etc. And we should stop pretending that under 18-year-olds aren't watching it. But I get that wording was abysmal. No, you're still pushing the same idea. We weren't worried about your wording. We're worried about how off that is. It's still hella off, lady. Good grief. Whew. Wow. And this is where we are right now. She has a verified mark. Absolutely, she does. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, good grief. Okay. So, with that being said, I just wanted to give you that little tidbit of information. I had to call it the weekly. Did I mask this topic pretty good? Because that was my intention. Yeah, this ain't gonna look like, when you finally get to it. Yeah, you're gonna have to listen to it to know what it is. So yeah, you guys got some good information. I hope you go research the information I gave you. Go look at who these people are. Go look at who these people are tied to. Um, and I've shown you some of the players before. Uh, and you still see, if you see Fauci, then the interest of the first group that I just played today is still in full effect. Now you add that to the group that I played last week. Oh yeah, it's showing you it's extremely in full effect. Okay, so please, like and share this video, subscribe to this channel if you have not. We are up to about 140 something now. So it's been a good thing. Trying to just grow it. I want to make that first 300. I want to do that, if we could pull that off within the next, let's shoot for a month or two, a month and a half. I think we can get there. Let's get to 300. I want my first 300. That's what I want. Because for y'all who know me, I rock with who rocks with me, really. But a lot of people don't like the truth. It's uncomfortable. Like I just said in my podcast, we have to be comfortable with speaking the truth in uncomfortable spaces. We have to always represent our interest. We cannot any longer give our power over to any other group. Our efforts and our energies have to be focused on us and us alone. Then we can get to everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Oh yes, I know my channel will grow. I'm not worried about that. But I'm glad to see that I'm glad for everybody who has joined this platform, who's been hanging in there. Some of my videos are kind of long, but I noticed that most of everybody actually watches majority of my videos. Despite even how long they are. So I really, really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Believe you me. I just want to make sure I get you a lot of information that you can go expound on, research, and build on for yourself to get your own mind right, your spirit together. And absolutely, we will grow. We will grow. And I believe in dealing with quality, not quantity. So my thing is quality. If I'm inspiring, To the few, that's good enough for me. So with that being said, Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. Yes, indeed, y'all. This is a Good Friday weekly wrap up. Wrapping up with some good information. Information you can go build on and give you some things and people to look out for. And always listen to how people are talking. When we are in this new Black media space, Black first, foundational Black American, we need to be making sure everybody that says they represent this is talking as such. And we know who our enemy is. So we're not going to spend all of our time banging on other Black folks while we ignore these Ed Bucks and these other individuals out here that have been tearing ourselves up. So we got to do something different. Straight up. So with that being said, y'all can follow me on Instagram at beatzillapdx. You can follow me on Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can follow me on Facebook at beatzillapdx. And on Patreon, you can follow me at beatzillapdx official. And on Melanated People, you can find me at Michael Beatzilla Whitmore. And if you want to email me, you can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to donate to the program, you can put some money in the bucket at CashApp, $Beatzillapdx. That's CashApp, $Beatzillapdx. Yes, indeed. So, with that being said, I hope that y'all have a blessed and prosperous weekend. You know, today is my youngest son's birthday, so I'm about to take him out to go get him. Me and my oldest son, we're gonna have us a men's day, enjoying his milestone of adulthood. Yes, indeed. So, just give a little shout out to my son, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. He is 18 today. So he actually graduated at 17. So cool. So we get over here, and you know how we do. All right. So until next time, family, y'all be blessed. Have a safe weekend. Stay safe. Stay vigilant. Keep your head on a swivel because the enemy is taking L's and they hate it. So with that being said, you pick up that stone of truth and you know what to do. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yeah. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.